At 4:15, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Would you please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Sam Martin, Martha Eldridge.
Here.
And Rick Morgan's here. Public input. Anybody? Johnson.
I haven't been there in a few weeks to bloviate, so I'm going to bloviate a little more. Have you had a chance to review the school agreement that I gave to Ellen?
I have not.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. Just for the record, that wasn't easy to get. It took a 91A and 4 phone calls to obtain it. They didn't give it up freely, and I have no problem saying that in public. Did you guys settle anything on the dump fees yet?
We did not.
Okay, I just have a suggestion or just one more thing about it. I wasn't aware that non-resident taxpayers and resident taxpayers get the same sticker. That's my fault for not understanding that. I just have a concern with that. People that come up that are staying in a campground, they're paying $100 a year on their camper because it's considered a permanent structure. Once this fee, if you do it, is instituted, over the course of time, people are going to take advantage of that, bring their junk from their out of town, out of state, wherever, here and dump it because it's free. And they're going to say, I'm paying taxes. And they're going to take advantage of that. So just an idea behind that is, why not put in a 2-tier dump sticker? In other words, you have a resident taxpayer sticker and a non-resident taxpayer sticker. Residents could be free, like you want, and non-resident that don't reside here have to still pay the fees that you so charge now. Just to eliminate that chance for fraud and deception, you know?
We haven't decided at all
Yeah.
that we're going to do free dump yet. I mean, we have not decided that at all. We're still taking public comment and, yes, no, one of the other things that's been floated actually by Sam is to increase the number of free dump days in the course of the year.
To add to that, not only do I think we should have a free dump day quarterly, but I think that to residents that the stickers should be free, but I don't think we should do away with the fees.
So,
So
we've
resident
been,
taxpayers,
So,
you're saying, yeah.
free stickers, right, and 4 quarterly free dump days.
so, you know, again, we have not decided anything, but I'm glad we're having the discussion, and input is fine, and that's what we want. And I would invite anybody else still who has an opinion on it one way or the other to let us know. We're taking it a little bit at a time. Sure.
I'm against getting rid of the fees, I'll tell you what, I told Bruce that. Okay. I wouldn't mind seeing them lowered at all. When somebody goes in and pays $10 for a queen-size mattress and $10 for a twin mattress, you know, they're 2 different sizes. You pay $10 for an 18-inch TV, somebody brings in an 84-inch, it's $10. Right? Your construction goes by weight. I believe it goes by weight.
It does.
Right? Why can't the TVs and the mattress, stuff like that? But the reason I'm against the fees because the landfill needs X, like anything, it needs X amount of dollars to operate.
Sure.
So if you take that away, they're going to seek that money somewhere else. I know they're going to. They're going to try to get the money somewhere else. I'll put it that way. Okay. And my question is, what I see if you take away the fees is opening the door for more property taxes, and then we're getting into people paying for things they don't want to use or they don't even use. And where would that money come from if you get rid of the fees?
What you're saying would be under a normal business standpoint correct, but the dump or the recycling center budget has nothing to do with its revenues. Nothing.
Nothing to do with what?
Nothing to do with the revenue that it generates. The budget is reviewed based on what it costs to run that facility. We do get about $70,000 a year in revenue that comes in. A big chunk of that is from the recycling, and then a part of it is from the fees that people pay when they go in and dump things. So what I'm saying to you is that if we got rid of those fees, that does not change the dump's budget in any way, shape, or form. It would reduce one of the overall revenues that the town gets in that would have to be made up elsewhere. I'm not saying it wouldn't. The actual dollar amount is still a little debatable, because as I said, it's $70,000 overall, but a good portion of that is from the recycling that we do.
Okay, where would the $70,000 come from in the town budget?
Presumably, it would, if you just flat took it out, then it would come from taxes.
What?
It would come from taxes.
Okay, do you plan on raising it if you give her these fees?
The town tax rate has gone down 4 years in a row, and I predict it's gonna go down again this year, with or without nut fees.
Okay, whatever.
$70,000, in all honesty, in a $6 million budget, it's pretty small potatoes.
Some people, 70 grand is 2 years' wages. I mean,
$70,000 is a lot of money, but when you put it in a $6.2 million operating budget, it's pretty small potatoes.
okay, so why didn't we get rid of 70,000 last year?
Hmm?
Well, why did we knock $70,000 out of the budget every year?
If you look at your town tax rate,
My wife takes care of that, I know.
your town tax rate has gone down 68 cents a thousand over the last 4 years. So we've been cutting a lot.
I've got more questions later.
Well, it's public input, so fire away.
Well, they may have something more important. I don't know. No? Okay. I put a lot of thought into this here, okay? And thank you for, welcome to the board. Politicians, and I'm going to refer to you people as politicians, if you don't mind, because, I mean, you are.
Oh, I do mind, but that's good.
I mean, to me, you are. You are politicians to me, okay?
That's fine.
You have no problem telling people what you do, what you will do if elected. Now I want you to tell the people what you have done and what you are going to do that makes this place a much better place to live for everybody in Ossipee, now that you're in office.
Is this a philosophical question you
It's
want to
just a
pose?
question. You can make whatever you want.
It really intends
I'm
to
not gonna
answer.
do anything all by myself.
Do you have any intention of answering? Next question.
So you refuse to answer?
Absolutely. I have what you think about me, I couldn't care less.
I don't care what you think about me. It doesn't bother me at all.
So there you go.
Now, what I'd like you to do, and you're probably not going to do this either, okay? And I've asked people in Congress, U.S. Congress, to do this, and they refuse to do it. I'd like you to, each one of you write down, in letter form, your responsibilities and duties as select people, and write down in letter form what you are doing to carry out those responsibilities and duties. You can send me the letter, Barry Knight, P.O. Box 91, Ossipee, and I will do my best to see that every taxpayer gets your response in writing and signed, please. Would you mind doing that?
I absolutely have no intention of doing it. You can check your mailbox on a weekly basis. You want to do it? You want to do it? Okay.
Okay, all right, that's all I want to know.
Okay. Anybody else? If not, I'm going to move on to the red folder. Before I do, thank you, Sam. We had a non-public session upstairs under 91A32, I think it's C. It's a tax matter. We met with our tax collector on folks who are, payment arrangements for folks who are delinquent on taxes. And I make a motion to seal those minutes. All in favor? Aye. We have the minutes of the Selectmen's meeting which occurred on Monday, May 21st, and make a motion we accept them as printed.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have the check voucher totals, payroll for week ending, payroll with taxes and insurance for week ending 6/2 was $101,571.59. We had accounts payable for week ending 5/28 of $26,955.51, for a total dispersed last week of $128,527.10. Additionally, we had accounts payable for water and sewer, which we track separately, for $4,889.38. I make a motion we sign.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. These are again the check voucher totals. Each bill that comes in goes through a multi-tiered review and is reviewed individually and initialed by the selectman before it gets to this stage. It may seem like we go through some of this stuff quickly, but we've all individually had a chance to review everything in the red folder prior to the meeting. We have a payroll reimbursement request from the Water and Sewer Department, the amount of $3,910.50. I make a motion we sign. All in favor? Aye. We have the Highway Department work log, which is here in the folder if anybody'd like to review it. We have the Recycling Center daily cash log for the month of May, showing they collected $10,117.60. We have a memo from our tax collector. This is a letter of ownership of public records. This is regards to their applying for the grant under the Moose license plates. I make a motion we sign. All in favor? Aye. We have a request for a clerical abatement. This is on map 29, lot 1, sub B08. It's a camper that left over the winter. The site was vacant as of April 1st. This results in a refund or abatement of $151. I make a motion we sign. All in favor? Aye. A copy of a check we received from the state regarding on the Whittier Covered Bridge reimbursement in the amount of $26,175.26. We have a request for abatement. This is on map 35, lot 20. The original assessment was $431,200. The revised assessment is $418,900. A difference of $12,300, which results in a refund or abatement of $255.48. Our assessor recommends that we grant that abatement. Did a complete inspection with the property owner, noted some minor changes to the sketch, and added a small paved driveway not previously assessed. There was a small area in the basement that was listed as finished but is semi-finished with little added value, and noted as an unfinished basement. The net result of these changes is a revised assessment of $418,900. I make a motion we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We have the minutes of the Selectmen's work session, which occurred on Monday, May 21st. I make a motion we accept them as printed. All in favor?
Aye.
We have the minutes from the Ossipee Economic Development Committee meeting, which occurred on 5/21, which are here in the folder if anybody'd like to look at it. We have an email that was sent to the town administrator. This is from the chief of the Tamworth Fire Department. And it's to the Board of Selectmen. On the morning of May 31st, Ossipee Police Officer Kim Hatch assisted Tamworth Police Department with a call for service at White Lake State Park. Officer Hatch responded as backup for Tamworth Police. After the immediate police matter was under control, Officer Hatch took physical custody of a 12-month-old child who was very upset and confused by the events. It was truly a pleasure witnessing this officer transform from a police officer role to a very caring and nurturing person to do her best to console this child. I wish I could have gotten a photograph of her performance. Officer Hatch did her best to soothe the child through a traumatic event. It was truly one of those feel-good, quote-unquote, feel-good moments in life. Officer Hatch's actions reflect the true meaning of humanity, utmost professionalism, and reflect greatly on the professionalism of the town of Ossipee, the Ossipee Police Department, and herself. Respectfully request that this sentiment be passed on to the Ossipee Board of Selectmen and Ossipee Police Chief. Very respectfully, Richard Corkin, Tamworth Fire Chief. You make sure and prepare a letter to Officer Hatch from us that we could address next week, please. I guess these are for the three of us. We got from the White Mountain Board of Realtors, pleased to distribute to you a complimentary copy of On Common Ground, a semi-annual magazine published by the National Association of Realtors. I presume there's 3 copies for the 3 of us. Excuse me, we have a raffle permit application. This is for a benefit dinner being done for the Oblinus family. I make a motion we approve it. All in favor?
Aye.
We have a report of timber cut. And the tax warrant instructing the tax collector to collect $927.99. I make a motion we approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We have a notice of intent to cut wood. This is on map 279, lot 12, it's Browns Ridge Road. It's a 66-acre parcel of land, 60 acres to be cut. Michael Wadlinger is the owner. Arthur Wood is the logger. Taxes have been paid. I make a motion to approve it. All in favor? Aye. We have another notice of intent to cut. This is on map 54, lot 2, Mountain View Road. It's a 26-acre parcel, 4 acres to be cut. David Krygeris and Ed Vergado are the owners. Tracy Gore is the logger. Taxes have been paid. I make a motion we approve it. All in favor? Aye. The contract to use facilities. This is for the OCC daycare. Preschool graduation at the Freight House. Schedule has been okayed by Craig. I make a motion we approve it. All in favor? Aye. We have another raffle permit application. This is for the Old Homewood Committee. It's a 50-50 raffle. Trying to find the date. 6/23/18 at the gazebo and 7/4, July 4th at Constitution Park. I make a motion we approve it.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We have a copy of a check we received from Northeast Recovery, amount of $1,243.26. That's for scrap metal from the recycling facility. We have a whole host of reports and complaints from our dog officer that were answered. They're here in the folder if anybody'd like to look at them.
I'd like to see it.
You can request a copy after the meeting in the Selectmen's office. This is from the building permits, permits issued and fees received. Is this for
For the first quarter.
the first quarter? And they've collected $7,938.50. We have a water and sewer warrant instructing the tax collector to collect $304.80. I make a motion we sign.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. We also have the rules and regulations for the water and sewer department. These are cross-connection control rules and regulations. Make a motion, we adopt them.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That completes the red folder. Old business, 16 to 28, 28-171 rather, anything?
Nope, nothing new on that one, so.
The sidewalks, the updated plans. You want to do this at once over on those?
Yeah, do that. We'll leave them up here for a while for everybody to see basically what they are. Starting down here, there's a town hall, central school across the street. The new sidewalk proposal in the shaded areas here, they're segmented out and between beginning and ends of each sidewalk. We reviewed these about 2 weeks ago, made some requests for changes. One was street lighting that we talked about. And then there you kind of see a concept of an idea that we're looking at for a solar type light. kind of, pleasing architecturally rather than the standard old street lights. They do show these on the plans. They show a little square and a light on, a dot on the end of them, which are the lights, pretty much located at the beginnings and the ends of the sidewalks and at the crosswalks. Up through here, and you'll see the sawdust go up through here. We are going to use the school sidewalk. We have permission from the superintendent's office to utilize their piece that goes in front of the school back out to where this crosswalk is here, and continuing on down in front of the library, all the way down to crossing Hucken Street, Folsom Road, up to the railroad crossing, across from the Freight House. And we talked about installing a new crosswalk for people to cross over, especially for daycare when they come walking down to the school. Talked to White Mountain Survey about the location of that. And with as busy as this intersection is and the angle of it, we decided it was better to bring it up right off the corner of the Freight House property, bring it across by the railroad tracks, put them onto that side of the road to continue on down. Yeah. We didn't want the kids crossing. We have a very large expanse of parking lot in front of the restaurant. And then the old, that building used to be the one Joe Deegan owned there and stuff, which is a long ways for the kids to walk across with the cars backing in and, in and out of there. So that's how we like to have them cross over there, then continue up the new sidewalks all the way to the school. That's pretty much a summary of it all. And selectmen like it, stuff like that. I think the plans are pretty much ready to send in to DOT for their review and comments, and hopefully get this approved and ready to construct. So, I didn't answer any questions. Anybody has any or comments?
The plan hasn't changed any other than the addition of the crosswalk, which we discussed at the last work session.
Right.
And the plotting of the actual lights.
The lights, yep.
Is it gonna affect the landowners at all?
There will be some easements we're gonna need, Bo. And once we go by the library, these next two properties here, we're probably gonna have to get into construction easements because we're gonna be up on right along the edge of the property line there. So we'll have to reach out with them with, meetings and easement, contact them to get an easement to sign off on and stuff like that. And also, one of the gentlemen's been kind of in this from the beginning that owns where the antique store was down here in the corner. He understands this is actually on his property. His property comes out into the street, actually. The pin is here. It's all pavement, around in there. So, but he's on board with the whole plan, so, yep.
I've got a question.
Yeah,
Is that the solar panel you're talking about, that picture?
that's the solar panel on top of the light post, and then the piece turning down is the actual light. It's a down scope type light system, so it doesn't spread out. It's,
Okay,
yes.
will this be put in a place where a vehicle can't hit it?
Yeah, they're gonna be on the back side of the sidewalk, so.
It'll be the backside of the sidewalk.
That means you got the street, the sidewalk, then the lawn area. It's gonna be right on the edge of the sidewalk going onto the lawn
The
area.
vehicle could hit it there, all right?
If they jump the sidewalk,
That's
yeah,
what I
they,
mean.
yeah.
And what happens if the vehicle does? Why can't you put it behind the school or somewhere? The vehicles less have to hit it.
Put it behind where?
The school or somewhere. So it's less have to hit it.
There's a whole bunch of them going.
I haven't even seen them. I haven't even
Yeah,
noticed.
well, they're not gonna light it, if they're behind the school, they're not gonna light up where the sidewalk is. The whole idea is to get light on the sidewalks where the people are walking.
The solar panel's gonna power the lights, right?
No, each one has its own individual solar collector on top of the light post.
Like the ones you stick in the ground you get from Lowe's and
Right,
whatever?
yeah, but these are a little more commercial. You're gonna have the light post, this is the light post here, coming up out of the ground. The top will have the panel on it, and it also have the light hanging off the same post there. So each one's gonna have its own individual panel on it.
Okay, I get it. I guess. I mean, vandals aren't gonna get this either, right, when they're on the sidewalk?
It should be high enough, so.
I mean, the little ones on the ground, they're gonna be put in the ground or something?
No, these are gonna be up in the air, these are gonna be.
All of them are gonna be up in the air?
Yes, yeah,
Okay, all right,
yeah.
okay.
yeah. Maria, do you have a?
Is it just gonna come right up to this stone wall in front of the library, or is the
Yes.
stone wall gonna have to be removed?
Oh, stone walls stay as is. The only thing we'll be removing are your steps
The
there.
steps, okay.
But we're gonna move those in, so they'll still be there, but they'll start, the bottom stuff will be at the flush with the stone wall, then stepping back up to your walkway going into that front door. Yep.
Do you have anything else? Martha, any questions? No? I make a motion that we have Brad proceed to send these to DOT to get their input, because we do need their blessing, because
Yes.
there's no state law.
Right.
Second.
All in discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Bud. Anything new on Covered Bridge?
No, nothing new there. We should be hearing back soon. The only thing that hasn't gone in yet is the easement that was submitted to the family there on the, I guess you call it the southwest side off of Nut Road there, to get them to sign off on the construction part to go down onto the riverbank. So that's gonna be that's just gonna be sent into the state once they sign off on that.
Anything on anybody submit anything on the Fish Hatchery property?
We have one bid for both the roofing and the siding.
Okay.
I put out the second request, which is due this Friday. We're hoping to get a few more,
Okay.
just so we have a comparison.
Okay. And Brad, anything new on White Pond? Have we heard anything at all?
No, we haven't. I think last time we talked, I think we were just gonna respond back to, was it Jeff? I think it was, I can't remember his last name there from DES. Basically sent the same letter back up they did last fall requesting us to do that application. And Ellen and I talked, we kind of felt that we should probably respond with the same response we had last fall, that, you know, we didn't intend to. And inform them that, you know, we did meet with Joe Kenny and Victoria Sheehan from DOT, and they're looking into the ownership and trying to set up responsibilities for who does what down there, so.
I guess we shouldn't pester them quite yet. We're just quite good to get involved. But we'll just keep it on the agenda, and then if we haven't heard anything in another couple of weeks, maybe we'll reach out to them.
Do you want us to send out a follow-up?
I think we need to. I think we need to. Also under all business, I wanted to, by way of announcement, I want to announce that the Board of Selectmen is hiring Joe DeShane Senior as a laborer attendant at Camp David Sewage Lagoons. He's been doing it on a temporary basis, doing the mowing and helping to monitor the trucks going in, docking. He's been doing it on a temporary basis, and they voted to go ahead and award him that position as long as he's interested. So, okay. Transfer station fees is still on the agenda. Again, we've made no decision. We're continuing to invite people to have comment. We've adopted the new rules. Second, public input, please. Anybody have anything?
Once tax payments stop to the town on property, how long does it take for the town to take over the property? And what are they responsible for after they take over the property?
Once a person is behind on their taxes for 3 years,
Okay.
at that point, the town can take the property for taxes.
Right.
For a period of time after that, person has a right to buy their property back.
Well, the person I'm referring to isn't gonna do that, right? Okay, I know that.
You asked me a rhetorical question, and now you want to apply a specific set of circumstances to it. Okay.
What is the town's responsibility once they take over that piece of property?
If the town has taken the piece of
Right.
property, then it goes to tax sale and is sold
That's
at
it?
public auction.
They're not responsible for anybody getting hurt on the property or anything?
We are insured under our town's general liability policy for the period of time that we actually own it, and yes, we have the same responsibilities that every other property owner
Now,
has.
how about cleaning it up? How
If
about
we
cleaning
own
up the
it,
property? Yeah.
Under most times, that we would clean it up in order to be able to get a better price for it when we sell it.
All right, okay. No problem. I'm just wondering.
Okay? Anybody else have something under public input?
Just a question, the labor position, did you say that was full-time, part-time?
It's a part-time.
Oh, it's part-time, okay. And back to the school district agreement, do you think it's wise to have the town attorney review it, once you guys get a chance?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
John, you weren't here last week?
No.
I brought up, and I know that you brought it up back with the budget committee. And it's, generated a fair amount of response. I brought up about the $1.33 increase this year. Pointed out that, we worked really hard, you're part of it, you're on the budget committee, to reduce the town portion of our tax rate 68 cents over the last 4 years, and in one fell swoop, the budget, your taxes went up more than double what we've saved. I didn't have the total figure last week. This year, the town of Ossipee will send $8.4 million to the Governor Wentworth School District. 8.4 million. It was 7.5 this year. So $900,000 increase in 1 year. One of the things that a couple of things. The cynic in me wants to say, you know, where are all the people that were so concerned that we were gonna buy a beach and so concerned about their taxes? Their silence is deafening. You know, then that would have impacted our tax rate by pennies. The other half of me also, and I haven't discussed it with fellow board members yet, is I wonder if it's worth trying to involve the other boards of selectmen from the other sending towns. One of the things, I know that they do not have a budget committee. They have a subcommittee of the school board, which is a finance subcommittee, which is made up of 4 or 5 people. And maybe one of the things that can and should happen is an actual budget committee for the school district. People who are looking at the dollars and cents, because there's a hell of a lot of them. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I just think it's somebody's got to start to look at it somewhere. The operating budget this year went up $1.5 million. I'm not yet exactly clear how $900,000 of that is Ossipee's, but that's.
I couldn't get that answer.
So, it may be well timed that there's an actual elected budget committee with one member, at least one member from each town. And at least then hopefully it's somebody that can get an understanding of the budget and maybe report back to us on a regular basis. I don't know what anybody else thinks.
What a good idea, isn't it? I mean, it's almost,
And I'm gonna make a motion that we draft a letter, to the other boards of selectmen from the sending towns of Government School District and suggest and ask if they are in favor of trying to establish a budget committee for the Government School District.
second that motion.
All in favor? Aye. See what happens. Anybody else have anything on the complete? Sir?
Mr. Morgan, may I make a statement at this point?
Sure.
Okay, I applied for that labor's position at the Camp David well before the deadline was the paper. The same day I applied for it, I heard that someone had been hired and started the job.
Yeah.
So I came into the selectman's office and I asked him if the job was still available. When I filled out the application, I asked that, which was well before the deadline, and they told me that it was still available. That day, I happened to hear that someone had filled it.
Yep.
I don't know what your hiring process is here, but I came to ask this question tonight, if the position was gonna be, because they told me a decision would be made tonight.
Yeah.
But, your process, I don't seem to understand how this person was, you know, the deadline was still there. I applied for it. I don't see why I wouldn't have been a candidate for that position.
You were a candidate, sir. Let me explain to you what happened. It had not been filled until tonight. What it was is we needed somebody desperately down there to get the mowing going and to check in the truck. So we had hired this gentleman on a temporary basis.
I understand that.
And so the position was open, it was advertised. I know you applied and we had one other as well. And we made the decision to go with the person whom we had already hired on a temporary basis because they were working out well. Certainly that's no judgment on you in any way, shape, or form. Okay? Anybody have anything else under public input?
School board meeting tonight at 7 o'clock.
School board meeting tonight at 7 o'clock. And it is where tonight?
It's at the technical center, which is on the left.
Okay.
If you look at the building, it's on the left of the high school.
Okay. We don't have any need for another non-public, correct? Anybody got anything else? Ellen, anything? We had a finance meeting this afternoon with our treasurer, tax collector, and finance manager. We're waiting on the final audit, which has been completed now for some time. We're just waiting on the final report from our auditors. I think if there's anything else we needed to update. I don't think so.
Just one thing, I don't know if Bo might want to report a little bit. Last week, we had our company come in and finish the video of all of our the rest of our sewer lines. We did half last year and the other half this year, and they just finished it Friday, I believe, right?
I didn't quite finish it.
Didn't quite.
Almost. I'm in 600 feet on Moultonville Road and a little bit on York Street. I ran out of time.
Okay.
We have-
Anything you found?
I found one that concerns me a little bit. but the rest of it was actually in really good shape. I had the vacuum truck clean this time because there was some dirt, rocks, grease buildup. So I had them come in for one day, which I got a good deal on it. So, and I had them do this out here too. Remember we had problems out here over the town hall? I had them
Yeah.
clean that out too.
Good.
So maybe I can get them for half a day sometime, just to finish up the video inspection.
Yeah. And when are they coming to do the rest of the leak detection on the water side?
July, end of July,
Okay.
yeah,
Good.
maybe. It might be August, but you know, yeah.
Good.
And we'll go from there.
Yep.
We should take the opportunity to thank the highway department for the
Yes.
nice job they did out here on this wall.
Yeah, please pass it along, they come out really nice.
Very
Really nice.
attractive.
I mentioned to Brad earlier, and I don't know about you two, but I get a lot of feedback on, like, the wooden guardrails and stuff that they've been doing around town, and they look really nice, they're not only functional, they look really good.
Yeah.
And people are very happy with it, so. Anything else? If not, I make a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.